Now we're going to talk about values of notes and rests. This note here is called a semibreve or whole note, and as mentioned on an earlier page, every note has a rest that is the same value. A semibreve note is 4 beats long, so when we see a note that looks like this, we play a sound for 4 beats. It doesn't matter if it's written up high or down low on the stave. If it's oval shaped like this and not coloured in, it will be 4 beats long. Now if you remember from an earlier page, we spoke about the location of notes on the stave. If a note's up high or down low, it simply tells us what note to play on our instrument or what pitch. This shape here is a semibreve rest, and this means that we need to count 4 beats but play no sound. How do we count beats and play at the same time? Well, I'm glad you asked. Notice the picture of my foot. My foot starts in the up position, and what we do is tap our foot down and come back to the up position. This equals 1 beat. Now if a note is 4 beats long, all we need to do is play a note whilst we tap our foot going down and back up 4 times. The same applies for rests, although whilst we tap our foot, we play no notes. Let me show you how it works. This note is called a minim or half note. It's a half note because it's half the value of a whole note or semibreve. It has a stem and its head also isn't coloured in. Now remember, stems can go either up or down. The minim or half rest looks similar to the semibreve rest, although the minim rest sits on the 3rd line, whereas the semibreve rest hangs from the 4th line. These notes and rests are 2 beats long. A crotchet or quarter note has a stem, but the head of the note is coloured in. It's called a quarter note because it's a quarter of the value of a whole note. Now if that's starting to hurt your brain because maths isn't your strong suit, then just refer to it as a crotchet and know that it's 1 beat in value. The crotchet rest looks like this. This note will be the last one we look at for now. It has a coloured in head, a stem and a tail, and as mentioned before, they can be grouped with a beam. It's called a quaver and is half a beat long. So 2 quavers will fit into 1 beat. Its other name is an 8th note, as it's 1/8 of a whole note. A quaver rest looks like this. Now you've noticed that there are 2 names that these notes and rests go by. The words like semibreve and minim, and in this case quaver, is the European terminology and commonly used amongst classical musicians, whereas the names like whole note, half note, quarter note are words used in American publications. Either can be used, but I find that for beginners it's always easier to deal with 1 word and 1 number, rather than say an 8th note is half a beat long.